Okay, so I'm going to go over the gear that we used for the sniper, that I used for the Sniper Adventure Challenge this year. First, I'm going to start with the pack. And basically, I have a Kafaru arc frame, external frame pack with their setup. This is their carbon fiber, just released about a year ago. And on the back of it, I built a special pack for this match, just for the match, out of Dyneema, which is a super lightweight and really strong fabric. The big picture with this is it's super simple. It's a top load with this zipper, and then on each side I have storage for 1.5 liters of water, actually 2 liters of water via bladder, and then I have 2 hoses coming up and over. And then the big thing here is the gun is attached to the pack. I'm going to show you how this works. I undid the 2 top buckles, undo this buckle. Then I have a couple on the bottom. And the pack comes completely off, so I can get to it once I take this off, and the gun in the frame is still in place. And if you look at this, you see that the gun with an OBI clip is connected to the frame. So I drilled a hole, put this OBI mount here, put the OBI receiver on the gun, and this works really well for locking the gun in a very secure position on your back and keeping it very close, keeping the weight of the gun very close to your pack, because you don't, I didn't want to connect it to the pack and have it flopping around. And when I cinch the pack down on this, this makes it incredibly secure. So since the match, this pack worked out great. It worked fine. There was a couple things that could have been better. These 1/2-inch clips didn't work great, so I made a new version. Made a new pack as soon as I got back, and over the course of 2 or 3 days after I got back from the match, I made an upgraded version of this with a few more pouches, with a top lid, and with 1-inch connectors. So now what's in this pack? Here's again another look at the frame. So here's the required gear. Every team must have at least 100 feet of some cord capable of hauling 100 pounds. 2 military-style duffel bags. The duffel bags are used at the cache points where you can refill or grab new stuff. 1 shovel, 1 GPS with batteries. So the GPS is put inside of the pack and is only used in emergency. So basically, you never use it. At least 6 AA batteries. A spot tracker with tracking enabled. So the spot tracker is how, when we post online or when people follow us, you can see where we're going. That's how they're able to track us, through the spot tracker. So the stuff I just read there is all part of the required gear per team. And then now I'm getting into the individual gear that's required per team. And this list is a little longer. I'm going to go through it. I'm not going to go through all the items in the pack, but they're all in this pack. 1 poncho tarp, 1 hydration system, at least 3 liters total. I had 4. 1 headlamp. Headlamps and lights are really important during the night land navigation, because the sticks that you're looking for, that you're navigating to, they're reflective. So at night, you can shine your light in the area, and generally with a really powerful light, you can see them as you're approaching. 1 military-style strobe, 1 flashing strobe bike light to be worn on the ruck in the hours of darkness. 1 reflective belt to be worn around the rucksack. 1 emergency space blanket in here. 1 compass. 1 fire starter that was in here. 1 survival mirror. Compass mirror doubles as a survival mirror. 1 pack of water purification tablets or filter. We had that, but never had to use it. 1 whistle mounted on the pack. I also use Ranger beads for the land nav part. 1 watch set accurately to local time. Can't use a GPS watch, so I had just a G-Shock. 1 trauma kit to include 1 pack of Halo chest seals, 1 nasal airway, 1 compression bandage, 1 combat gauze, 1 roll of Curlex, 1 cat tourniquet, 1 pair of medical gloves. And then so that's the trauma kit. And then there's a first aid kit. It has anti-diarrhea tablets, electrolyte replacement, painkiller, Benadryl, antacid tablets, decongestant tablets, 4x4 gauze pads, 1-inch bandage, 1-inch waterproof adhesive tape, moleskin or blister treatment, needle, tweezers, betadine, scissors, epinephrine, if a known anaphylactic team member. And those are all things, everything I just read there are all things we had to have in the pack, and they actually inspected for. So all said and done, well, let me go into the required firearms. One long-range rifle to be carried by the designated long-range rifle shooter. One carbine to be carried by the designated carbine shooter. Two pistols, one to be carried by each member in a secure holster. For the carbines and pistols, each of these weapons must have at least 3 magazines loaded at all times, unless depleted of the rest of your ammo. Both long guns must be equipped with slings appropriate for safe carry. All firearms must be carried unloaded while directed by a range officer. So, as you saw when I had it mounted, I didn't have a sling. Carried a sling also, though, in case there was any stages where we needed a stage. All in, the pack weighed about 35 pounds when I started with all the ammo. In the beginning, we had to start with a lot of ammo because they told us we were going to go to shooting stages. Here's some recommended gear that's not required, but strongly, they put strongly recommended. One pair of long pants. I wore Born Primitive pants. They worked great. It was their lightweight pants. They actually were very lightweight tactical pants. They were very tough and they held up well to the demands of the match. Climbing over barbed wire fences, getting caught up in cactus, etc. They worked great. One shirt or long sleeve or short sleeved. So I wore one of my performance t-shirts, Federal Performance t-shirts, and I also had a sun shirt that I wore. Boots, so I wore some Solomon boots, extra wide or wide toe box. They worked okay. Towards the end, I started getting some blisters. I'm not going to use that set again next year. I'm working on finding a new option. Waterproof jacket. I took a couple jackets because at night it was really cold, and not for moving, but just for staying stationary. And then a couple pairs of socks they recommend, and gloves. I definitely carried a handful of extra socks in the cachet bag because I changed my socks 2 or 3 times. And so in these cachet bags they give you, you can pretty much carry, you put in there whatever you want. You put extra food. I didn't carry much food or any food really during the movement. Whenever we'd get back to a cachet bag, that's when I would dive into my food. And the final thing I want to show that I had is this is where I carried my map. So this was mounted on my chest. This is a little fanny pack that Hyperlight makes. And I cut the waist strap off. I sewed on some straps here. And basically my chest strap for my pack went through this here. This is where I kept my compass, extra pens, and navigation material. And then the map was in here. And that's how I was set up to navigate. So, big thing with the gear, try to find the lightest possible pieces for everything I'm looking for because you're going to carry it for 36 hours. And I think I did really well. I'm very happy with the gear I used, but I'm definitely going to tweak some things. Like I said, I changed the pack.